This is the plaintiff, Wilton Whitman. He says he's the warden of a nonprofit organization that puts a Halloween party on. The defendant purchased 4 tickets at a great time, but refuses to pay him for the ticket costs. He has no idea why this woman's being so darn difficult. Today's his day in court, and he can't wait to collect the $180 he's owed. So he's suing. This is the defendant, Ileana Vasquez. She says she's already written him 2 checks for this darn party, and the plaintiff insists the checks were never cashed. The party was in 2015, for goodness sakes. She's paid him not once, but twice, and refuses to pay again. She's accused of haunting a non-profit.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff runs a nonprofit, throws Halloween parties. Defendant bought tickets but won't pay. The defendant says the party was in 2015 and she's already paid twice. It's the case of trick or lawsuit.
Thank you, Douglas. Mr. Whitman, you are representing South Shore Power Squadron here as their commander,
Your Honor.
and suing Ileana Vasquez for $180 for 4 persons admissions to a Halloween party back in 2015. What's going on?
Well, actually, it's 2014, the Halloween party, and we did the Halloween party in conjunction with the local yacht club.
Now, what is South Shore Power Squadron? What do you
We are a educational organization teaching safe boating through education. We've been in existence since November 10th, 1928. We just celebrated our 90th anniversary.
Oh, good for you guys.
Okay.
All right, so so you have this Halloween party in 2014.
Yes.
I stand corrected.
Okay.
And
No,
then what
that's
happens?
okay, Your Honor. In essence, the Treasury collected money from the participants, which was the Vasquezes as well as other members of the squadron. They paid the fee to a check to our treasurer. I in turn turned over a check for the amount of money collected to the yacht club. Unfortunately, now this involved an evening of open bar, 15, 16 dishes of food.
Was everybody in
dessert,
costume?
In costume.
Prizes
It was a
for the best costume?
A costume party.
Did everybody participate, or
Yes,
did some people come not in costume?
No, everybody participated.
Do you have pictures of your costume?
No,
What'd you go
unfortunately.
as?
Oh boy, it was so long ago.
I
I
know.
don't remember.
But what do you dress up every Halloween? I mean, come on, you remember what you went as. What'd you go as?
Do you remember?
Do you remember?
I think it was a doctor's uniform.
Okay, so so they pay.
Yeah, they
And
went.
then what happened with your treasurer?
Well, what he did is he put the checks in a folder, similar to what these are, put it away and forgot about it. It wasn't until April or May of 2016 that he realized the checks were never deposited. By this time, the checks have gone dead.
Well, they're stale. They're sitting in his.
Okay.
Why did he not? You mean none of the checks or some of them?
None of the checks got.
Is he
no.
still your treasurer?
No, he's not the treasurer anymore.
Okay. Did he remain treasurer after this debacle?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yes, he did. How much
Yes.
longer after this
Well,
did he remain treasurer?
Well, I'll explain that to you now.
Yeah.
What happened is everybody gave replacement checks.
Okay, and then you replaced the check.
Yes.
Right.
I
And
did.
then what happened?
Okay. Lo and behold, he does the same thing again. Yes. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
I'm being very honest about it. That's exact, and I have the documents to prove it.
Oh, we
And what
all know it
is-
happened.
What happened is there were 2 outstanding checks, the Vasquez and 1 other member.
And so when did they replace the checks the second time?
That happened again later on in the year, in November or December.
So when does the accountant get fired?
He only got replaced about 3 months ago. You have to understand, Your Honor, we're a volunteer organization. Nobody's paid a salary here.
Okay, when do you take the helm?
Okay. I took the helm I was there in 2014. I was not on the helm in 2015 and 16. I took the helm again in 2017.
Okay,
May
so
of
you're the one who
2017.
sends the letters.
Right. Now, at that point, on the 13th of July, 2017, the fact that the second go-around of checks were not deposited came to light.
And
I
were
am-
all of them not deposited, or just hers and another one?
One other one, right.
Oh, just 2 weren't
Just
deposited.
2 were
Okay.
redeposited.
All right.
I only have to, the treasurers kept on saying to everyone, I have the minutes here of the meeting to prove it, that he was in contact with Mrs. Vasquez. and that she wanted him to send her the copy of the check that didn't get deposited.
Okay.
He neglected to go and do that.
He neglected that too?
Yeah.
How do you not remove him?
He finally resigned. I
Yeah,
convinced him to resign.
Oh, what did it take to finally convince him to resign?
He
All right,
didn't.
you went to the party, right? You
Yes.
had fun at the party.
Yes.
Okay, you got the check finally. He finds the check, and the second check, and he
Yeah.
sends you a copy of it, and he says, please,
Right.
you know, pay us a third time. Okay, and why won't you pay?
So if I give you a check and you forget to cash it, do I still owe you the money?
I don't think so, because it's about how truthful the person who's said that they lost the check or that it's.
So I'm in the clear?
I think that, yeah, you are in the clear.
Wow. Going inside the courtroom.
It's not a matter of not paying. Each of us gave them a check of $90.
Oh, no, sweetheart, we know you paid.
Okay.
On the night of the party, we know that. Then we also know you paid a second time.
Yes.
We know that. You know that neither the first time nor the second time got cash. Then we also know you paid a third time. And you know, because you've had a chance to look at it, that neither the first, nor the second, nor the third time got cash. You're just angry that they're asking you to pay a fourth time, right?
To give another check.
Yeah, I know. I know. I don't blame you. I would quit. Are you still part of that group?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No,
'cause
I'm not.
It's a lot of shenanigans.
There's too many
But
things.
did you go there? Did you go to the party?
Yes, I
Did you
did.
eat and drink?
Yes, I
Did you
did.
have fun?
Yes.
So what, other than just that it's annoying as can be, what would be the defense to, I mean, what I would do is I would go there, I would hand them cash, and I would get a receipt. I don't want to hear another word from them ever again. That's what I would do, and kind of laugh it off. Why has this reached the point of a lawsuit?
Well, because first, a couple of months ago, the treasurer calls me.
The same one, the treasurer?
Yes. He calls me and tells me that I never paid.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. He told me, you never paid. And then he says, and this is not going to go away. And I said, you know, I told him, I called him by his name, and I said, no, you're wrong. I gave you, this is the second check I gave you. You have to give me a copy of this check. He never once told me that the check was not redeposited, okay? What happened was, we haven't spoken in over 2 years since we quit the Power Squadron. In October of 2018, I get the letter from them.
From him?
Yes, from him. that
Did
I
you
had-
get insulted from the letter?
I did get insulted.
Why were you insulted from the letter?
He says, you better pay by this date or else. That was to me like a threat.
Show me the letter.
Sure. After I served in the Power Squadron since 2012, I was the AO on duty. I did a lot for this organization. I brought a lot of revenue to this organization, and I felt insulted to get a letter like that.
Well, I don't condone, we're not going to name him, the treasurer's failure to comply. You have had ample time to do so since receiving the check. It is now obvious that your numerous replies for a copy of an uncanceled check was nothing more than to delay and/or avoid a replacement check, since you could at any time verify the check was not cash. Well, that's kind of a nasty accusation. Your check was to pay for an evening. This is your last chance to do the right and honest thing and replace the check. If you fail to do so, I will go to Nassau County District Court. You will pay my parking fee of $6, $15 court action fee, and 9% interest. I have all of the necessary records to prove the case against you. This is a little severe under the circumstances.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm going to tell you, because this may be your first time in court, it's not mine, that if you'd been a little nicer, we wouldn't be here. But you got to pay for it, okay? I am not going to order her to pay interest, because the only reason you've had to wait 3 years is from the incompetence of your treasurer. But I am going to order you to pay the $180. Should I make you pay the $15? I can't decide. Usually when someone wins a case, they get their court costs paid because they won. So I have to. I'm going to order you to pay the $15 also. So he gets the his organization gets the $180 plus the $15. But I'm going to give you, I know I'm a youngster to you, right?
Yes.
I'm very young to you.
Yes.
I'd like to think that. But just a word of advice, because I do have a lot of experience on this. I tell my children, Say it, forget it, write it, regret it. Just assume that what you are writing is going to be interpreted in the worst way possible, and then rewrite it. Because, especially when you're asking somebody to do something, don't threaten them when it's, either the third or fourth time you're having them do it. Anyway, good luck to everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the plaintiff's organization is going to get another payment from the Vasquezes. You're going to have to pay, okay?
Yes.
Are you surprised at that?
No,
Just step over here. There, good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I would have paid. It's just I'm glad that she told them this is not the way to treat a person who was part of this organization and insult her in this fashion. And I wanted her to tell him that.
Well, I think the judge gave him that message.
Yes,
In
and
no
I'm glad.
uncertain terms.
And you know what? And I'm very happy about that because he needed to hear that.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Whitman, the judge kind of let you have it in one way, said you were not very nice to her.
Well, I think I was very nice to them. It's been on for 2 years. I don't.
But you had checks.
Huh?
You had the checks,
No,
You
I
guys
didn't have the check. The treasurer had the check.
Well, that's what I mean.
The bottom line is the only reason we're here, the only reason we went to court is I'm required to safeguard the squadron's assets, and that's
Okay.
exactly what I did.
I think the judge means that if you were a little nicer to her, you get more with honey than with vinegar, She would have paid
I
you.
thought it
That's
was
what she
nice. In
said.
the
She
end,
said
I
it was
said
a
enough
nasty
was enough.
letter. All right.
All right.
Okay, good enough. Well, you're
Thank
going to
you.
get the money, plus $15. Walk out. You're ahead of the game.
Not me. The squadron's head of the
That's
game
what
has
I
got the
mean.
money you
That's what
paid
I mean.
for.
It's
Thank you.
Okay, good enough. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Harvey?
It's so important that you keep records for all transactions. You never know when it's going to end up in court.